Today morning, I think they telecast that on Times Now. So the anchor on the national television channel asked me, Sadhguru, if everybody gets stoned like this with your yoga, who will do the work? So, that is the big difference. What is an endocannabinoid and what cannabis that you put from outside are very different. This question is coming because, see, it's never happened, never ever happened. Somebody who's blissed out from within ever jumped off a mountain thinking he will fly or something. But this repeatedly happened when people were using LSD. So many people jumped off windows from high-rise buildings thinking they will fly because they were feeling like flying. Well, this also yesterday there was another webinar where it came up. When I was 12 years of age or so, because I've been in nature, in the forest so much, all the other things, whether it is snakes or lizards or this and that, everything is fine, and even the bigger animals are fine because you can figure what they're doing. One thing that always, overly fascinated me and made me feel inadequate were the birds. Because boom, they'll go away. I'm not going anywhere. So I want to fly, want to fly, want to fly. When I was probably 15 years of age, I decided I will make a hang glider of my own. I got a design from the popular mechanics of the day and built a hang glider with bamboo and parachute silk I got from somewhere full of holes. I stitched it all over the place and put it together and took it to will I take it to a small hill? I took it to a reasonably big hill and flew. I think I did fly, I think approximately probably 22 to 23 seconds I was flying. Maybe it would have happened even without this. This massive, huge thing, barely designed nonsense, and I believed it's going to fly and took off, and the whole thing, once the wind filled up into it, it just folded up like that. My first concern is my hang glider broke, I didn't realize there is gravity. Anyway, I was not too high, so I just broke only… both my ankles I broke, but that was okay. I didn't break my head because there was no helmet, there was no anything, no protective gear, nothing. So later on, it took me another probably 2.5, 3 years for me to collect enough money to buy a well-designed hang glider, and then I flew. I still have the hang glider unused for almost 30 years now. Why I'm saying this is, this wanting to fly, I think is there in every child. They give it up because they want to be first in the classroom. Otherwise, I think in every child when they see birds flying away, wanting to fly away, I thought it'll be a very good thing for me to fly away from the window of the classroom if I knew how to fly. So, but once I became very meditative, it never occurred to me, many years later I thought about it. Once I became meditative, I lost the urge for aviation as such. I always thought I'm going to go into aviation. But I gave it up because if I close my eyes and said, I'm more than flying, much more than flying, I lost the urge. Only recently, about 8, 9 years ago, I got my license to fly. But all these years I gave it up because if I close my eyes, everything is fine. Even though you feel like that, you're never going to go on the rooftop and jump off. But those who are on drugs, they jump off. Because there is a difference between a living experience and a hallucination of flying. When you hallucinate that you're flying, you think you can actually jump off and fly. But when you're experiencing that kind of buoyancy within you, but you are very clear-headed, then it's very different. This happened. One day Shankaran Pillai met an old college friend. And that friend had gone seriously into these kind of things. So he met him and they were there and this guy pulled out his stuff and started rolling. Shankaran Pillai said, why are you doing all this? He said, no, 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 you don't know, you just smoke and you will fly, man. He said, no, 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 I don't smoke, I'm fine. But friend, you know friends, so he also did little. Then he was walking home, little flying but still feet on the ground. Then he saw on the street, a man was completely mangled, hit by some car and gone hit and run. He was in a bad condition. That man called out and said, please call me an ambulance, call me an ambulance. Shankaran Pillai looked like this. He did. He said, please call me an ambulance. If you insist. Hello, Mr. Ambulance. So what should come from within, you take it from outside, this is what happens.